Greetings, fellow Toriyama fans. Blue Dragon 5 here.
And Jacob Weil.
To pay tribute to the master of manga, Akira Toriyama, and celebrate 40 years of Dragon Ball proper, we're going through the animated saga that is Dragon Ball to get back in touch with our anime roots as we begin our journey into Dragon Ball.
Previously on Journey into Dragon Ball, Dragon and Jacob witnessed the first steps of Goku's story as he traveled with his new friend Bulma to gather the 7 Dragon Balls and defeat the evil Emperor Pilaf. Now, they move on to the next chapter, in which Goku trains under Master Roshi in preparation for the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Bring.
Gong noise.
Yeah.
And next time I'll try and find a royalty-free gong sound effect.
That'd be great. Anyway, yes, folks, yes, we're back again. Kind of our multi-part coverage of Dragon Ball and who knows what else. And so we're on the second installment, and we're covering the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament.
Oh yeah, this is like the first big arc after the Pilaf saga, where Toriyama began to lean more into the action side of things.
Yes.
Still, obviously had like the hints of comedy here and there, but especially here early on. But there are signs of bigger things going on inside that brain of his.
Yeah, so I guess to start things off, so easily, without question, my favorite of the Dragon Ball arcs. I love. I just got a lot of love. I live for the World Martial Arts tournaments. Period. One, I just love those. Those are always my favorite Dragon Ball. Period. I love the World Martial Arts tournaments because of this arc. As a kid, I was just obsessed with the idea of this is like my first understanding of what a tournament was. Period. Frankly, it's just like I was obsessed with the idea of like matching up, the characters and the progression, the whole advancement to the finals, the whole like bracket structure, just really like jazzed me as a kid. Years later, going back to this, I really appreciate the storytelling that folded into the events. Like it wasn't just, I mean, the action itself was good, but there were like the motives and just kind of the story structure behind, like, why does this character advance, and what do they really learn? How does this really challenge them, and all the stuff that kind of factored in there. I mean, it's just, I guess to put it simply, this is peak Dragon Ball for me. I'm just. It was always really impressive. It's really impressive that Dragon Ball, could have very easily been a one-trick pony. It could have been like each arc is just like, okay, we're gathering the balls, we're making a new wish, but it didn't do that. This arc proved that Dragon Ball had legs, and the Pilaf saga was the adventure kind of side of things. The journey to the West style adventure, and then the second here is just its action and kind of the education of self-improvement through martial arts, et cetera, et cetera. Just a lot of fun to be had in the training, the gag manga tactics in the rounds. And again, I'm just let me give you a little nostalgic tidbit here. So kind of like with the Batman the Animated Series figures now. It's like nowadays they make everything. Back in the day, not so much. Dragon Ball Z was a lot easier to come by than Dragon Ball because, I guess just either by the way it was just aired or just the fact that, Dragon Ball Z was maybe getting a little bit more traction when it was like re-airing on Toonami. But for me though, because being obsessed with Dragon Ball, loving this arc, I desperately wanted the World Martial Arts playset.
Ooh, okay. What came with it?
Well, that's the thing. Basically, you had. I really don't know if you. I think it was. I don't think you got figures with it. I'm not sure if you did or not. There's a chance you might have, but it wasn't much. All I know is you got the stadium, so you had like you had the arena, and you had like this function that would basically, if you put figures on it, you could flip them out of the ring.
Oh, nice.
Now, mind you, nowadays they've remade this thing like flawlessly, where it's actually has like the background and everything. What I had as a kid, just that was satisfaction enough, was just literally like just the arena. Like you didn't have any of the walls or anything. It was just literally like like all the tiles. That was it.
And don't take my yawn as disinterest. That was just me having to be yawning when I just said
like recently, I was just like looking through things, and like they put out like like the actual big demon looking like wall thing onto the side. I was like, I would have died for that as a kid. That's even better. That's 20 times better than what I had.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So that's what I'm saying. So this still just to show you just my love for this one. Now, mind you, the trade off was frustratingly again I couldn't get like the Dragon Ball era figures. I had like it's just the Dragon Ball Z figures. I was always a reluctant Dragon Ball fan, and I loved the original. I was like it took me time to connect the dots with Z, but we'll get more on that later. Just the point being, this this arc just holds up for me. I love this dearly, and the tournament's only improved from here. Just to show you, I mean, I just have as much love. It's kind of a logic of you got to dance with the one that brung you. You know, I will always this will always kind of be my favorite, the World Martial Arts Tournament, even though the other ones are debatably better. Just still, this I got a lot of love and nostalgia for this. So I'm excited to of all the arcs we're talking about, this was the one.
And it's only the second one too.
Yes, I know.
So that kind of seems to like be like the general progression of it. Like there's there's an adventure arc, then a tournament arc, and then back and forth until you get to Z, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then from then and there, it just gets crazier and crazier when we get to Z.
Yep, that is the formula.
So yeah, there are, and technically Super did bring tournaments back into it, and I guess
in a big way.
And technically, I guess if you count the Cell games as a tournament.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
So there technically was something like that in Z, so, but not obviously not nearly as prevalent as having 3 different individual world tournaments. So
the Cell games is like barely a tournament, though. But yeah,
basically more like Cell go like, let's see how powerful I am.
It's just Cell with an ego. That's all that is.
Like, let's see how powerful I am.
Hercule needs an excuse to be there. That's all that is.
I went to college.
I went to college.
And I showed Dragon the video where someone switched Cell's voice with Plankton's. And it works surprisingly well.
Yeah.
But we'll get to Cell probably in a year or so.
Yep.
But yeah, so I guess I should discuss my experience with this.
Yeah, what do you got?
As I mentioned before, I had watched the entirety of the first arc before I went into this show, like before I even, started rewatching it for this. Then I did actually get to the part where they introduced Launch. But I never actually got to the tournament my first watch, though this was entirely new territory for me.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is basically, Dragon, as I mentioned, I watched basically watched the Peel-Off Saga, the recut version of it that followed the manga. This was like entirely fresh. So yeah, so basically, this is all new for me. This is the kind of stuff I was looking forward to seeing because I hadn't seen it yet. If it gets my drift.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I gotta say, it is pretty interesting. It's kind of interesting how well it holds up, and like as Dragon pointed out, it's not just like in a tournament for the sake of showcasing insane fights and power, even though it is kind of that, but it also like shows character progression and character motivations and all that. And not to mention the fights are hilarious and kind of interesting in their own way, and definitely goes in directions you wouldn't expect.
Oh, for sure.
There are all kinds of different twists and turns, like wondering, like, okay, how is this person going to fight, or how are they going to get out of this one?
So they all have different fighting styles for sure.
Yeah, like it ranges from just straight up energy beams to lingerie to
gum
to being stinky.
Oh yeah, being really stinky.
Being really stinky. So definitely you never know what to expect in this. And I gotta say, it definitely went on for quite a long time, but it was never boring. That's the most important thing in this arc for me so far. Obviously, I can't say anything about the future arcs because I haven't seen any of the future tournaments, but I can at least say this one was never boring. You never knew what to expect. And of course, it also introduced Launch, Krillin, and other other important characters as well. Plus,
Mhm.
more established Master Roshi as as a recurring character instead of a one shot.
Yeah, we really showed. Okay, Master Roshi's he's got more to him than just dirty old man jokes.
Yes,
I mean, there's
actually,
still those aplenty, but beyond those, there's some
but
a little more on the surface.
but it actually explains why he's so respected.
Yeah.
So like I said, so yeah, I really like how this goes, and if Dragon says they're better, the next ones are better. I'm kind of waiting to see how those go.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Honestly, none of them are a miss, Jacob. But that's the thing. They're all different and debatably the best, depending which one you pick. You know.
Oh yeah, like, but who is this mysterious old man over here, Dragon? That's Jackie Chun, right?
Yes, yeah, and he's in an ongoing legal battle with another aged martial art artist. But you know,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't think the other guy has a chance.
no, probably get an animated show out of it. But you know,
Yeah, he's like an archaeologist or something.
yeah, it's like I think it's part of the settlement. But you know.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyways, yeah. So without further delay, let's dive in. So
it, do-
we
it
yep,
doesn't actually begin with the tournament. It begins with Goku picking up where Goku left off in the previous tournament, leaving Bulma, Yamcha, and they recently started dating,
yep.
and
They
going to
realized their wish was right under their noses the whole time.
aw, and going to train under Master Roshi.
Yeah. So again, I love the dichotomy of dirty old man and just revered martial artist, like within the universe, like one of the most revered martial artists.
Basically, the strongest normal human on the planet.
It's basically kind of a gag manga approach to the to basically kind of what we see with Yoda, you know, like the kind of the Joseph Campbell like lore of like you have the unexpected master kind of trope, you know, but we just made it really funny.
And Star Wars is very popular in Japan, so I wouldn't be surprised if Toriyama did draw some influence from that.
Oh no, without question. I mean, Toriyama, we'll get into it. Well, I don't know how much we'll get into it later. We might. I mean, I think there's a little bit of it here and there. It's more so in his other stuff, like you know, like Ariel and everything. But there's you know, there within his he does a lot of parodies of stuff and Star Wars and superheroes. Definitely, they work their way in there again. Hence the whole Jackie Chun thing. So you know,
Like, and there are other and again, it's big in Japan, so a lot of like shonen manga are like influenced by Star Wars.
oh yeah,
So, but yeah, so yeah, it's just kind of funny that technically, Roshi is like the most powerful regular human on the planet.
pretty much, yeah.
I mean, Krillin probably comes close, but
That's what I'm saying. Like Krillin, I mean, debate. When we get to it later, I mean, probably by the end of things, at the very least in Super, I'd say, you know, he's Krillin is probably the most powerful human on the planet. Yeah,
yeah, but obviously, considering the later revelations about Goku, so
yeah. Consider, but again, at this point in time, we don't know that.
well, yeah.
Anyway, so he goes to train Master Roshi because he promised to train him, and he tasked Goku with finding him finding him a girl.
Yep. Brings him. That's a face. Let's just say he has no idea what kind of girl that.
I love too. There's something so pure and innocent with Goku in that he, you know, I love that Master Roshi kind of
Gives him very vague instructions.
he gives him very vague instructions, but also he gives him like these two photos of basically a very homely looking girl and an attractive girl. He says, "I think they both look the same." What are you? What are you, a monk? Or like, what are you, a saint? Just show that you know Goku doesn't judge. I mean, he can barely tell you know genders, period. But you know he doesn't judge.
Yeah.
I love like the first girl he brings him is the girl we see later at the tournament, like the giant, you know, like you know, pretty much like a weightlifter. You know?
Yep.
Anyway, so he ultimately brings him a mermaid, Jacob.
Yep. And it doesn't really work out very well either.
Oh, despite yeah, you got to give it to Master Roshi though. He did try. Of course, it backfired instantly because he's Master Roshi. That's what he does. But you know, he didn't go. The whole fish and turtle analogy just didn't work for him.
A girl with legs. He needs a girl with legs.
Yeah. So again, just kind of our Toriyama gag manga humor there. Anyway, so while this is happening, we are introduced to a new character.
Yep, one who's like basically running across the land, finding his way to the island.
Yeah, so Krillin. We are introduced to Krillin. Of course, all the DBZ fans going, Krillin! Yeah, so Krillin has finally made his entry. Just this is a wonderful. Krillin really does have a wonderful arc in Dragon Ball that I think a lot of people take for granted. That he starts off as Goku's rival, and ultimately becomes his best friend in many senses of the word. You know, Krillin is kind of a prototype for Vegeta in many senses. Now, mind you, it's kind of like we go from Krillin to Piccolo to ultimately Vegeta. So Vegeta is like the ultimate test of this. But and if you want to make it even further, then we'll have Tien. But we'll get the Tien.
In one of the future tournaments.
That's what I'm saying. So in a sense, like the idea is like Goku kind of befriends his enemies and kind of turns them into his best of friends. So in that sense, like Krillin was very much the beginning of that. Well, sorry, I guess Yamcha technically, but let's not. I'm sorry, I keep deflating my Krillin point, but the fact is, we like Krillin. He's got a good arc.
Yes, although Yamcha had his own motivations as well, and I'd say he became more friends with Bulma and anything than Goku at that point.
Sure, but even Oolong too. That's what I'm saying. Like everyone, that's the wonderful thing about this character. Everyone he encounters, he befriends ultimately.
Well, a lot of them, not everyone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. At least the ones, the majority of the people that he meets, that are actually, not really terrible bad people.
And he ultimately makes them better people.
Exactly. There's a redemptive quality to the boy.
Yep. Mainly because a lot of them don't appear that often afterwards.
True. So I love that so Krillin. I love how we visualize Krillin's arc. Is that Krillin initially
he basically starts off as someone who's like willing to play dirty to get what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, literally, he can't ride the Nimbus. I think it's a great visual way of showing that. Okay, Krillin's all out for himself at the beginning.
Yep, he's like he bribes Master Roshi.
Yep, with girly mags.
Yep. and then Goku has Goku go find him a woman.
He sends so Krillin kind of assists him, and so it's overall with Krillin too. Again, I love so Krillin is there for the wrong reasons because he wants to get stronger than the guys that bullied him. So he's very much kind of a.
I mean, it's all which is a relatable motivation nonetheless.
It is, and that's what I'm saying. Krillin's not he's not an evil character. He's not a bad character. He's not ill intentioned per se. It's just it's kind of like getting into martial arts for the wrong reasons versus just the pure self improvement reasons that Goku has. And again, there's a lot of Karate Kid parallels in this arc, which very much through the training itself. But just with that, it's also like you don't just do it to kick the crap out of people. You do it to be able to defend yourself and to kind of self improve.
I mean, at first you wouldn't really equate Master Roshi with Mr. Miyagi, but
no.
But ultimately the techniques are kind of different. Do end up with the same result.
Yeah. So let's see. So over time, thanks to Goku and Master Roshi, he improves and he kind of becomes a better person as it goes on,
and ultimately makes pretty far through the tournament.
I like that with Krillin, we kind of take that initial trait of like he's a bit of a schemer he uses that to outsmart Goku during the training, and I think what that ultimately translates to, as we see in the tournament, and as we later on with him as well, is that there is strategic potential with Krillin. Is that Krillin, what he lacks in measuring up to Goku's caliber of strength,
he makes it for like his intelligence and street smarts.
Exactly, which is the one Goku kind of struggles with, as we see. Goku gets better with that as well over time, but again, through unconventionally, Krillin absolutely has street smarts. Goku definitely doesn't have street smarts. He has kind of combat smarts.
Yes, Goku's a combat genius, whereas when almost literally everything else.
Yeah, he's a buffoon with everything else.
Pretty much.
Okay, so you know what time it is, Jacob?
Gritty reboot time?
No, not that. A different show. No,
I know. That's tomorrow.
Yes. It's launch time.
so yeah, they're flying on the Nimbus, but before that, a demure, kind woman walks into a saloon, a Western saloon of all things.
Yep.
And is confused as to what's going on.
Yeah, so just with a sneeze, she goes from kind of docile, blue-haired, lovely young lady to blonde.
Basically a machine gun toting psychopath.
Yep. Basically a Punisher fangirl. Like she's gun toting. She's she's shooting everything that moves. Bad, very ill tempered.
Yep, basically doesn't even heck. Even she kind of warms up to everyone.
Yeah,
Not by much. She's still willing to shoot everything that moves, but still.
yeah. So launch, very much gag manga comedy of just with a sneeze she goes from like being all nice sunshine and rainbows to just gun toting, violent, just very very irascible.
basically cranky, willing to shoot anyone, even like 12-year-old kids with a gun.
Again, so speaking of the dichotomy there, okay, so I always love that she's a launch. Like the blue haired launch is oblivious to Roshi's perviness.
Whereas the blonde one is like into very in tune with it and punishes him for it.
Yes, and also I love too with launch though with the kind of a regular base launch. I love that there's this really with the prime example you're citing there. So in the morning, Goku gets. It's funny that Goku gets to sleep with launch in bed.
And it's completely innocent.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. So I love that I love Roshi's jealous of Goku. Is the fact that Goku, because he's the only one that is not ill intended. He's allowed to sleep in bed with the girl. Because again, we see in this really beautiful. Everyone always glazes over this, but there's this really nice moment launch that we always forget about. That launch in an almost maternal way. Like she puts the blanket over him, kisses his forehead. It's really adorable.
She kind of acts like a surrogate mother to Goku in a way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's really
But then she sneezes and tries to.
Well, then she shoots him.
Yeah, she sneezes and shoots him. Yeah.
Not the first time that Goku's he's woken up with the woman on the wrong side of the bed who shoots him.
Not the first. What?
It's not the first time Goku's woken up on the wrong side of the bed with a woman who shoots him.
Yeah, it's a oddly recurring theme with him apparently.
Yeah, I'm saying Bulma's done it, Launch has done it.
Like just and Chi Chi doesn't. I don't think Chi Chi shoots him.
No. I mean, she knocked him off a cloud, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean she hits him, eyes him out, yells at him, probably deprives him of food every once in a while.
Well, that's the worst thing she could do.
Yep, most powerful woman in the universe.
Yeah, we'll get there. Anyway, but again, I love that Goku, though, again, just being completely is oblivious. He's like, he sees like, okay, someone's attacking me. He just kicks the blonde launch in the face. It always cracked me up as a kid, like, wow, yeah, like because you always see that anime trope of like, okay, there's a misunderstanding, and then the male character just kind of takes. It's like, you never see that though. The male character kind of like kicks her in the face for the misunderstanding. Like, hey, that's not what happened at all. And bam.
He's not good. He doesn't take that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's like he just like equal opportunity.
Exactly. All right, let's see. So, also we should probably mention. So again, with our gag manga humor. Again, we are more narrative focused this time around. We do have our humor sprinkled throughout, especially when we get to certain rounds of the tournament. But we should mention the Turtle School uniforms, Jacob.
Oh yeah, let's just say it's a ploy by Master Roshi.
Yes, Launch initially tries to get Launch in on the lessons, and of course, in getting her on the lessons, he wants her to be dressed more aesthetically pleasing. So again, Roshi got greedy. She's already a lovely, young lady. He puts her in the.
I mean, she already basically walks around in a form-fitting T-shirt and shorts anyway.
Pretty much, but Roshi. Here's the thing: ever since, and we call it out here later on when he's reunited with Bulma. You got the idea. Roshi, his last encounter with Bulma was when Oolong was pretending to be Bulma in the bunny suit and doing puff with him.
Yeah.
No, they weren't. It was not smoking, kids. It was something else.
Yep, and I think we all know Dragon.
Yeah. Anyway,
the Chi-Chis.
Well, now everyone knows. So,
well, I think everybody knew anyway, Dragon.
Well, I don't know how I kind of. I think Puff might have fallen by the wayside in the years, Jacob. That's why I kind of want to clarify that one anyway.
I know, but I think they kind of figured it out by context.
I think, yeah, you're right. They're a smart bunch.
Yeah.
So,
our audience are very smart and handsome and/or beautiful people.
Yep. So. Let's see. Anyway, so I think Roshi has that in mind. So he's just getting greedy. Like, he wants an encounter like that again. So, like, I'm going to put Launch in really attractive lingerie.
Yeah, and then, but when he has like Goku and Krillin
They're
dressed
they're all they're all wearing it, basically playing it off as like in the manga, like the line is like, "Please don't make fun of our uniforms." He just launched doubles over, and it's so funny.
uh,
Anyway,
Toriyama.
oh yeah. Okay, let's see. So, okay, so
So it's like so the training begins that the actual training in earnest begins not too long after that, finding a rock.
yes.
Like, well, is that actually the first bit of training?
Well, yeah,
Actually,
no, you're right. That's the no,
well,
the Rock is the first thing of training.
the first thing they do is pack up his house.
Well, it's barely trans. It's not trans moving.
They pack up Roshi's house and then move to a bigger island.
Yes, for all the training to happen, which is a good point because I mean later on Dragon Ball was kind of will use the actual house, but we do need like a lot of landscapes and set pieces, so they do have to change location. So it's a really practical thing.
And moving houses is literally easy in this universe.
Well, yeah, but the Dino caps.
Yeah, you just grab a dino cap, throw it at your house, and just like all right, I'm ready to move.
So we have the Karate Kid esque lessons here after the whole like search for the Rock, which is great.
which has the word Kame written on it.
Yeah, so the turtle symbol is written on the Rock, and basically Krillin again using his strategy, he kind of cheats Goku out of that victory.
Like he tries a new way, but by grabbing a random rock and writing the word on it.
Well, then remember he took it from Goku and like faked him out of the Rock throw.
Yeah, but he also tried writing the rock, right? He tried like
Yeah,
fake.
no, that's it. Initially, yeah, and then hilariously, Roshi looked at it. And he's like chucked it right at Krillin's head, like it's not my handwriting, you cheater.
I was like, yeah, I was like Roshi didn't buy that, not at all. And he was also kind of pissed, angry because his Krillin was interrupting his time with launch.
Yeah,
Who, by the way, in the Japanese version is called lunch.
yeah.
Like I said in the previous episode, like if you're in this show, you're either named after food, like vegetables, food, or underwear,
Pretty much.
or tea.
Well, stuff
Or
and tea would kind of fall under food.
food and drinks.
All right.
But so yeah, like food, appliances, or underwear.
Yeah,
So anyway, or just basically a lot of pun names.
pretty much.
So yeah, so Roshi was trying to get some looks at launch, but Krillin interrupted him.
Krillin interrupt us.
Yes, and he's not too happy each time he gets interrupted.
Yeah.
But Goku earnestly looks for the rock.
Anyway, so Goku loses. He goes without food, but
But
Launch used like puffer fish, which basically gave Roshi and Krillin a lot of food poisoning.
basically, Krillin finding the rock was actually cheating was actually a blessing for Goku.
I think it was a good moral, ultimately. Like, cheaters never prosper. And again, it was like Krillin, it was a hard and fast lesson Krillin learned. And honestly, it did. After that point, he does very much get on board with Goku, and that they're put through. So the friendship develops, and that these guys are put through a lot of like basically Miyagi style Karate Kid lessons.
Deliver the milk.
You deliver the milk with the weighted turtle shell.
Yeah, like with the big turtle shells.
That was always my favorite.
Plow the fields.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They'd help the construction workers. They would.
Like, are you sure this is not child labor?
Pretty much, it was. Yeah. Then we had like they're swimming with sharks.
Yep.
And they're doing some book learning, which it was Goku's least favorite part of the train.
Yep. And like Roshi did point out that you had to like focus your mind as much as your body.
And also, we had one of the best lessons, which was you kind of like play hard and everything, just kind of rest. They're sitting in the hammocks. Basically, the idea of like if you train yourself too hard, you're going to burn yourself out. So you do have to like there's like a day of rest within the training, which was a good idea.
I mean that actually is true. Like if you like, even like the best like physical trainers, they said they, and if you like have your workout, they basically tell you not to work out heavily every single day, or else you'll basically your body will give out.
Yeah.
That's actually very well actually very true.
Oh yeah. All right, so all of this, again, my favorite bit within all of this too was always like the weighted turtle shell idea. And I love where we go with it later on. The weighted idea was always like to me as a kid was like the coolest thing ever, just because it just seemed tangible in some way because it made a lot of sense, you know.
It's basically they're basically having them get used to this extra weight. So when they finally lose the weight,
And again, in the grand scope of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, it was very imperative for this is how we train. We put Goku through like an intense weight or pressure, and then kind of pushes past the limit.
like the hyperbolic time chamber.
Well, less hyperbolic
I know.
time chain. I was saying more like King.
Well, I'm thinking about like the one where he's like on the way to Namek, and he's like the increased gravity.
Yeah, the increased gravity in King Kai's plan for the prime example. But yeah,
Well, like those two, yeah. So
yeah. Anyway, so again, all that was always like my favorite idea, and the thing I always marveled at Dragon Ball because it seemed like, well, how is he gonna? Man, I wonder. I hope Goku's going to be in good kind of fighting shape by the end of all this training. And then, oh my God, the turtle shell worked. Look at how high he can jump. Which, of course, then we correlate with later on with Samurai Jack.
It's like, no, jump good.
Exactly.
Like, you can fly.
No, jump good.
except Goku kind of actually can fly.
Well, later on, he still can't fly yet.
Well, not until he gets a certain appendage back.
Yeah.
But even Krillin understands the power that he has now.
Yeah.
Like even Krillin can jump good now.
Yeah.
And they can even break the giant rock that Roshi basically had them do basically to get them off of his back.
Oh yeah. Love the rock thing. I should have said a mountain. Oh well.
Yep, and so their training paid off, and you know what that means, Dragon.
We're off to the qualifying rounds.
Oh yeah, but he initially didn't. I mean, Roshi, for various reasons, didn't want Goku or Krillin to win the tournament.
Well, yes,
because he was basically he's as established earlier, and he's afraid that if Goku wins, the victory will go to his head.
Yes,
right?
Yeah. So that's the thing. So we have the. Sorry, I was going to save this for later, but we might as well just.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, the point being that yes, so the boys are signed up for the tournament, but not exactly with the intent to win. The intent to really just kind of test their martial arts skills. And again, for later on, we're going to reveal that Master Roshi's point in doing this is to to basically kind of inspire them to keep training and bettering themselves in the hopes that they would not win. Because it's a lesson of there's always someone better. That's essentially what he's trying to teach the boys through this ultimately.
Because if he wins, they'll just become. If they win, they'll become stagnant.
Yeah, they'll become stagnant, lazy, and they probably won't. They'll get to. They'll go. The wind would go to their heads because they're like 12-year-old kids, 12 and 13-year-old kids.
Yes.
Because Krillin's a year older.
So imagine if Goku had won, became more complacent, and then all of Z happened.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't go well for anyone.
No. You think he would never beat you? He would it's like, oh yeah, I'm already as strong as I can be. But no. But we'll get to that.
Okay, so we signed for the tournament. We see them in their little suits and they're adorable.
We finally see the debut of Goku's trademark orange gi.
Which I tell you is always the head hurt to me because as a kid I always looked. This is where I think this might be one of the sources of my color paranoia because it's I always took that to be orange, but apparently it's like a reddish orange or it's very red.
I think it depends on the shading and the color kind.
That's the thing. In Dragon Ball Z, it's full on orange, but again I think it's orange because of the misnomer that it was orange. That's what I think happened.
I'm not sure. I mean, it kind of looks like at least a dark orange.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like a very, it's a very orangish red, if there's a red, you know.
Even though his first one was blue.
I know, yeah.
Well, that wasn't really a gi. That was just more of like a set of clothes he had.
I don't know. It was kind of as essentially the same, practically the same thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
But he has some. He also has some visitors at the tournament as well.
yeah, his old friends. They've everyone's been. So we reveal Yamcha has been training for the tournament, and he was was pleasantly surprised to see Goku there. Bulma and company. They're also there.
Yeah, Puar and Oolong as well.
Yep.
They don't have much of a role in this, but they're just there to cheer Goku on.
Yeah.
But it is nice to see them, and even of all people, Oolong was very happy to see Goku as well.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about, like the arcs in this show with these characters. Where, Oolong really does. He is in Goku's corner, which is just really just knowing how selfish that character is. He has kind of become less selfish, and even with our gag manga stuff that we do with Oolong, he's he is. These instincts are initially protected before they are like to serve his own self interest, but then he's tempted.
And remember, he technically did save the world.
He did. He saved him with a pair of underwear, and he's still looking at undies. So
the world's most comfortable pair of underwear.
Yeah.
Remember, folks, the first wish you ever see in Dragon Ball is for a pair of underwear.
The world's most comfortable.
Exactly. The world was saved by a chafing pig.
Oh yeah.
So remember that, folks. Oolong made the first wish.
Okay. Anyway, so before we get into the full on the tournament itself, so we have the qualifying rounds in which
we get introduced to some of the potential future contestants.
Yes.
All right.
So we have 130. We have 137 fighters, and we whittle them down to 8.
Oh yeah, and the 8 fight, and those 8 are like take up the bulk of this arc.
Yeah, so just within this overall, we have Krillin and Goku again. They're now really strong, and again, we have like a lot of comedy of just like them wowing everyone by taking everyone down. Because basically, it's like a minute time limit. But we kind of circle how the tournament's going. We kind of build up how the tournament's going to work. With the exception of the time limit, we have like if you get knocked out of the ring, or you give up.
Yeah, like all up until the final 8 have a time limit.
Yeah. So Krillin was bullied at his temple, back at his temple where he kind of trained with his fellow kind of monks and or at least kind of like not monks, but I mean they're kind of have like the shaved head look and everything. So
they almost kind of look like Buddhists almost.
Yeah,
but they're definitely not Buddhists because or at least they're not very good students of Buddha.
Exactly. So Krillin was kind of bullied by these guys. Always kind of told him he wasn't much of a martial artist and everything, and they slap him around and everything. And Krillin he takes him out. He gets some good old fashioned kind of just revenge.
And he basically uses his newfound strength and to outwit them.
Yeah,
and it was definitely satisfying to see. It's like he's basically better than he's better than them now.
Yeah,
all because of the training of the turtle hermit.
And again, it's really nice to see Goku and Krillin like kind of on each other's level and just really seeing the friendship has developed and they're rooting for each other and giving each other encouragement on the sidelines. It really does build up like how strong a bond they have going into Z.
Oh yeah, and it basically it shows like why and like throughout all of Z and into the future why Krillin is Goku's best friend.
Yeah. I mean, remember, Goku doesn't become a Super Saiyan without Krillin.
Oh yeah, like he's the reason Goku became Super Saiyan.
Yeah. All right. So we have the iconic setups of the World Martial Arts Tournament. So we have the stage. We see the arena. We got the brackets. Oh, I love the brackets. And we got Yeah, we got the announcer, and of course, the announcer is one of the great, just kind of he's like the old well-worn friend of the World Martial Arts tournaments. Just I love each successive tournament, he becomes more and more beloved. You know, where he's very. This is actually the most distant he is, but as the arc goes on, he kind of becomes funnier, and then
And he becomes like basically had to adapt to all the craziness that's going on in this tournament.
yeah. I forget if it was Eric Vale who did his voice or not, but whoever does, he always sounded like Gohan's voice actor to me, but he's not. But
I mean,
it's kind of
Eric Vale's still with Funimation to this day. He does a lot of work with them. He's even still doing new stuff with them.
so I always loved the announcer. I found him just really funny and just entertaining. He was a really good MC for the events.
I mean, like I said, he had to adapt to all the insanity in this that this tournament had.
Yeah, and his love. He also had a really cool look to him. As the guy in a suit with the sun. The fact he always had the sunglasses.
He completes the look.
Oh yeah. Okay, so and again, just the journey the announcer is going to go on as and at the very beginning he botches Goku's name. That just cracks me up. The fact that this guy's going to be in Goku's life pretty much till the very end.
They should have
I mean,
gone
the
down.
very end, like literally the very end. No matter any way you slice it, whether it's GT or just Dragon Ball Z, he's there.
They should have gotten him for the Universal tournament.
They should have, but it wouldn't. I guess it wouldn't have made a lot of sense.
I know, but
But at the end of the day, I know a lot of people come down on GT, but you know what? Super didn't have the announcer.
he was there.
Just saying. Yeah, anyway,
so yeah, we're introduced to some contestants that will obviously become, because of the way they're characterized, will obviously become the main fighters later on.
yeah. So I want to mention this too, just before we get into. I think what we're going to do, Jake, is we'll probably just break down the fights themselves as a way of introducing the other competitors.
All right.
But before we do that, just with the gag manga comedy within the ring, we have just because these are tropes that we will see again a lot in Dragon Ball, but also maybe they'll kind of be dialed back as we get to certain green characters in our story. But while we can enjoy them, the defining manga gag that Toriyama gave us
Yeah.
was the shock fall. The shock fall is like something that Dragon Ball perfected. It's still the anime joke. Just the fact that everyone's just like falling on their sides. Like Funimation, it's the house that's the joke that built Funimation right there. It's the whole like the bongs. Everyone just
Like someone says something stupid, then they're like,
with a smile, and then they all just topple over.
I mean that's like a classic anime joke, anyway.
I know, but I think Toriyama. I don't look. I'm not going to blatantly say Toriyama's like the first to do it, but I don't know. At the very least, he perfected it. At least timing wise, he just nailed it. So then we have like the director of the tournament is like a dog man, and he just goes like woof woof or something.
Yep. Doesn't even speak any English or Japanese, I guess.
Yeah. Also, the later on we have like the instant replay gag where Krillin and Jackie Chan are in the ring, and like says that was so fast. Can you reenact what happened for us? Oh yeah, sure. So then he's like flipping Krillin over and everything. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that though.
Okay, so we're in the quarterfinals. So we have Krillin versus Bacterium.
Oh god,
Easily grossest fight.
it's probably like the most terrifying fight in the history of Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah.
It's like easily like one of the most terrifying fights.
Yeah.
Because you're just basically watching Krillin go up against this guy who's literally never bathed in his life.
Now, admittedly, in our tournament arcs, with the exception of the 23rd, basically in the 23rd, nothing is wasted, which is why it debatably is the best. But again, we'll get there. In the first two, there's at least one. There's essentially one gag fight each, one that's entirely gag driven. And this is the one. It's a Bacterium, and we'll get into it the next tournament. There's at least one gag fight, so it's for sure it, and we definitely go full tilt like the gross outness of it all. Just like the smelly finger and the belching and the
this was vile.
Yeah,
Like it was almost hard to
you're
watch.
watching out, but again, you know what makes it a lot easier to watch though?
What?
The realization that Goku makes, and Krillin, you don't
Krillin.
have a nose.
He's like, oh yeah. Even Krillin was basically like, oh yeah.
I think because Krillin, again, he can take on a guy this size, but not that smelly. That was the. But again, until you realize, wait, he doesn't have a nose.
But he's so powerful that he can smell it even without a nose.
Yep.
I mean, you can almost smell him just watching it.
Yeah.
You just imagine like, he's never washed, he's never bathed once in his life.
Mm-mm.
He like basically entirely disgusting all over, like rubbing himself all over Krillin, rubbing Krillin all over him.
It's like the grossest version of Pigpen ever.
At least Pigpen was charming.
That's what I'm saying. Pigpen's charming. You get a sense. I mean, he's clean. He just gets filthy. He's bathed, but then he instantly becomes filthy. So you know,
Yeah,
not even he's just more dirt than filth. That's the thing. It's not
but
just
like,
like it's not.
and he's also a child.
That's the thing. Like, remember, Pigpen, he doesn't have flies buzzing around him. It's just dirt.
Yeah, and I said he's a child. Children get dirty like that.
Yeah, bacterium. There's no excuse.
Bacterian. Yeah, he's ugh.
Anyway,
Just watching him, even just thinking about him now, just makes me want to gag.
so admittedly, as much as I love this arc, maybe not the most auspicious start, but still, it's at least Krillin came out victorious over insurmountable odds.
Yes.
All right, so then we get to an impressive fight. We have Jackie Chun versus Yancha.
So who is this mysterious Jackie Chun?
By the way, I like Yancha's short hair.
Yeah.
Looks a lot better on him, I think.
Than his long desert bandit hair.
Absolutely.
So Dragon, who is this mysterious Jackie Chun? Who is he and where did he come from?
Well, not a lot is known about Jackie Chun. He's he's an older man. He's been on the circuit, but not really. He's just kind of showed up one day. Very mysterious sort. He looks remarkably like Master Roshi. Some might think that he could be his cousin, but I don't know.
Like when they can't possibly be his. I mean, we've seen them both in the same place.
Well, yeah, yes, we have. So I mean, clearly it's not Master Roshi.
Obviously not.
Okay, in all seriousness.
Yeah, but they would like at least with the anime they make no attempt to hide that it's Master Roshi.
Yeah, so it's funny though. There is actually one subtle touch, and it's not really even I'm not saying it's like for a mystery or anything, but I think it's like in universe for Roshi to kind of help with the gambit. Is that if you notice,
He's like there's a lot of things like he stands up straight.
well, yeah, so he stands up straight. Obviously the choice in wardrobe, but the biggest one being the sunglasses. Like we try not to show Master Roshi's eyes at all. Like you put him with the sunglasses. So Jackie Chun, and I wonder if maybe that was a plan all along. And like, okay, if we keeping Master Roshi's eyes hidden, so then when we actually do something like this, be able to distinct.
Oh sorry.
We'd be able to have two distinct characters.
It is kind of like the classic Superman, kind of like Superman and Clark Kent. Like people have actually tested this kind of thing where Clark Kent, where Clark he's kind of hunched over. He has the neat hair, then the glasses, but then like he stands up straight as Superman. His hair is different. He takes off his glasses. You can actually fool people into thinking you're a different person when you do that.
Oh yeah, Christopher Reeve, Frank Wiley, they master that one.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
so it's not entirely too out there. I mean, but basically, here's just played for guys like, yeah, that's obviously Master Roshi, and nobody just recognizes him.
One thing, so I love that Yancha, he's able to put two and two together on that one. But what I'm getting, sorry, the subtle difference I really liked in the performance, I kind of forgot about, and I really call on the rewatch for our purposes. If you notice, Master Roshi has like a slight southern kind of twang in his voice, very slight. There's like a little something kind of mountain man kind of thing in his voice,
which he drops as Jackie Chun.
Exactly. It's like a very subtle difference, but it's like yet another added like kind of Clark Kent layer to it.
He tries to sound more serious too.
Yeah. Well, until women start taking their clothes off in the ring, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
But he's only human. So,
A 300-year-old human, but yeah.
well, yeah. Okay, so we have he's basically Jackie Chan. He schools the self-taught Yancha, and Yancha again. We saw he was training. He wasn't like languishing. He was like beating up everyone within the city. So he basically did like the standard training, but without a master. He was kind of his own master. And impressively, Jackie Chan defeats Yancha without even touching him. He uses like the wind strike, which years later Goku will use in the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament.
I can't wait to see that one.
Yeah, it's a really nice payoff too. So yeah, I
I
just love
mean,
the fact that Yancha doesn't strike a single blow on him, like just not one hit.
like I said, this is the arc that really demonstrates that despite like all his goofiness and silliness, Master Roshi is not to be messed with.
And we also
I
established in the previous arc, Yancha was kind of like Goku's. He was his contender. You know, he was kind of he was vaguely kind of his rival or his equal, somewhat in
so
that story.
and though to be fair, we actually did kind of get a hint at Master Roshi's power when, of all people, he trained the Ox King.
Yep.
So if anything, like that should have been like a hint of like maybe there's really more to Master Roshi than we realize.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you saw him like he also destroyed like a mountain with a
Well,
Kamehameha wave. So I mean, I think that was a good indicator too.
yeah, that's
I mean, he
another.
bulked up to like 3 times his size.
Well, oh yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. You're right. There's a little more
I'm just
into the old
I like
master.
it's like yeah, that stuff's not important.
Okay, so let's talk Nam and Ranfan.
Yeah, Nam is this nice honorable guy from India or from like at least inspired by India
The
anyway.
very looks like an Indian village of some kind.
Yeah.
It's we don't really geographically Dragon Ball Z. We kind of keep it simple. Like there's West City. Like there's we basically kind of east, west, north, and south. That's pretty much how we just do the cities. And then you
I
have
mean,
islands and stuff. But we don't really.
I mean Tokyo and Kyoto like literally mean like this like east and west capital, I believe.
So that's essentially kind of what we're playing off of. And occasionally, when we get to Dragon Ball Z, then we have like all the islands and stuff. But we basically have like Turtle Island. Then we have the kind of our four main, like, our few of our cities, and everything else is kind of like nations in between the cities. That's essentially kind of our vague kind of. It's vaguely what we're doing. Like essentially, the tournament takes place, I think, in I think Bulma's in West City. The tournament's in South City. Does that sound right?
I mean, I think so. I don't entirely remember.
I know it's like West and South because I know Bulma's like not where the tournament is. I know that. Anyway.
Like, so yeah. So Nam's he's a very nice honor guy. Fights with honor and all that.
So Roshi can actually, he can read minds. At least minds are like very serious and deep in thought. I think. I don't think he can read anyone's mind. I think he can just like when he can really channels it, he can read like a serious fighter's mind. Basically, he sees what's going in Nam's head. And basically, Nam, his village is having a terrible drought. They're all going to possibly die of thirst, and he's going to enter a tournament to win prize money to get him water.
Which is a very honorable goal.
Couldn't be a pure motivation in the world. Even better than Goku's motivation, frankly.
Yes, like Goku's like obviously just doing it to prove that he can win and better
Yeah.
himself. Nam, he's just trying to get water for his poor village.
Exactly.
It basically immediately endears you to Nam. You actually want to see him succeed. Like do I actually want to see Goku succeed or do I want to see Nam succeed?
Yep. And boy, we're going to be rooting for Nam in this fight because he's facing quite the obstacle.
Yep. Like let's just say he's also a man.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So Nam is facing Ranfan, who's kind of seemingly unassuming fighter. Kind of looks like the typical Toriyama female. Looks attractive. Has kind of fun kind of 80s hair.
Yeah, and then she takes her clothes off.
Yeah, so basically Nam. So initially they fight. She's wearing like sweats and like a tank top or something. And basically, Nam like it's like he barely even he's pretty much like walks over. He's not even a hard strike, just like a light chop.
He doesn't even really want to hit her.
That's the thing. He barely wants to hit her. He's like a little tap. It's just oh my arm, oh the pain.
And then everyone. Sorry, everyone was like ganging up on him for hitting a woman and all that.
Then she hits him. So we see that point being Ran Fan is honestly, so the point. So again with Toriyama, each of these fights kind of has a purpose within the grander story, which I really love. So Bacterium and Krillin's like there's your basically it's a gag manga fight. Nothing really there. Krillin kind of we kind of play with things. It's kind of sets a tone. It sets a tone and it sets up that Krillin can kind of like outthink certain situations. You're like, okay, well he doesn't have a nose, so clever solution. Yamcha and Jackie Chan is basically we're building up how tough to beat Jackie Chan is going to be, and how kind of like we're someone very formidable. So Yamcha was kind of our benchmark fight essentially. So then Nam and Ranfan is kind of a moral of a very earnest, very honest fighter versus someone with very underhanded tactics.
While also being a gag fight.
Exactly. So again, there's still some gag comedy to be held there, but you see what I mean there, right? I like that there's kind of like a good moral there that does kind of relate to the lessons that Goku will take away from this at the end of the day.
She's using her feminine charms to try and win the fight.
Yeah. So
yeah.
She's wearing like she has kind of like the Lois Lane line practically of like, I have one question for you, and she starts taking it off like, does pink look good on me?
And I said, Nam obviously. It is kind of weird that they would negatively react to him hitting a woman.
Even though I don't know if they. You sure they negatively react to him hitting him? I think she just was wigging him out and then punching him. I don't think there was like a big outcry.
I was like, it's a martial arts tournament. What do you expect?
I think we might be misremembering that part of it.
Maybe I am, but
because I remember like the gag is like she milks it and then she hits him kind of like Michelle Pfeiffer from Batman Returns style. That's essentially
maybe I'm confusing it with something else, but
anyway.
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, she like takes off her clothes and basically fights in her underwear.
Again, he has like it's an underhanded strategy, but basically wearing
underwear handed.
Yeah, so basically, she's sauntering about. Frankly, it's a really good look on her, but she's sauntering towards Nam, and Jackie Chan's going wild. And this is where Yamcha's put the dots together. Oh my God, that's exactly like Master Roshi. Wait, that is Master Roshi. He's wearing a wig.
Yep, like it's another pervy old man.
So Ranfan is basically trying to fluster Nam until he gets a ring out, until he backs up. And I love this. Goku is the one that kind of saves Nam here. Goku says, "Hey, why?" Just very earnestly, "Why aren't you fighting?" And that just kind of like gets him back on the ball.
He's like, "Oh yeah."
Yep, and he's not taking it that Nam. He's there for noble reasons, and he knocks out the pretty girl. And Jackie Chan is doing some very problematic resuscitation.
He basically Nam basically wins by fighting blind.
Yeah, which is a cool move.
He instead of looking at her, he just chooses not to look at her.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yep, and she's basically easily taken out after that point.
Yeah.
And of course, as you mentioned, Jackie Chan is taking advantage of the situation.
Yep.
trying to give her mouth to mouth.
Well, he's looking at the wrong end, I'll tell you that much.
Yep.
Anyway.
But he's giving it his best shot.
Yes, he is. Okay.
Yeah. So Nam moves on, which is good because we all wanted Nam to move on.
Yeah. Okay, so Goku versus Giran. So this is kind of a nod to the first episode of Dragon Ball, in which Goku fought the giant pterodactyl monster. So we're kind of extrapolating off, what are the other pterodactyl monsters like?
Well, this one is kind of an interesting fighter. It's basically Goku's first real test of battle wits as well.
Yeah, so this is kind of funny too. Where this is there's a lot of build up in this fight to the point where we even we kind of have an intermission because of the rain
the confrontation in the diner.
Yeah, I love that restaurant so much.
It does look nice, yeah.
It's the delicious restaurant.
I wonder if they have it in the Dragon Ball land in where is it, Dubai or whatever?
They do.
Oh, they have that same place.
They have that building. I assume it's also given it's a theme park. I'd imagine they have that built. That location is built, so I have to imagine it's a restaurant in there.
There's just where is it in Dubai?
Yeah, it's in it's in Dubai.
Like, dang it.
That's what I'm saying. Seriously, the Dragon Ball theme park is the most. It's more specifically themed to Dragon Ball more than this any. Like, there's Z in there for sure, but I'm saying it's predominantly Dragon Ball with all the locations.
Well, why of all places in Dubai?
Because we can't have nice things, Jacob.
Apparently, Dubai can.
That's what I'm saying. Dubai can. We can't.
Like, maybe. If I had another reason to go to Dubai, I definitely would go to that. But
Well, frankly, I think it's because just Dubai has like
like
copious amounts of land.
and the space for it, yeah.
That's what I mean. That's unfortunately that's the reality of why Dubai, Jacobs, because Dubai just has
I
all the resources and
I know,
space.
I know, but still.
I don't know. Anyway, so
But go Dubai, I guess.
yeah, it's like the only reason I would ever want to leave the country just to go to Dubai or Dragon Ball Land. But even then, it'd be a thing of like, well, it's
You have to find another reason to go to make it worth it.
yeah, you'd have to find another reason. But also, it's just the fact that like, I want the dub, man. Nothing's gonna be dubbed.
Yeah.
Anyway, so again, the
Yes.
point, the gag is all the filler and basically all the build up. Even with the build up with like Goku sleeping, there's that gag of like Goku all this build and Goku has fallen asleep, and it's like I was taking a nap and they all topple over. But yeah, so we have the first real Goku's first real fight of the tournament, and I love that he pretty much like throws Giran out of the ring like in his first move until Giran flies.
It's like technically it's a bodily appendage, so he's allowed to use it.
And Goku is kind of say so.
Because the rules are not if are you have to touch the ground outside the ring, not actually fly out of the ring.
That's true.
It's the exact wording that trips up Goku there.
Yeah. So we have so Giran has this special ability, the merry-go-round gum, which essentially is like this unbreakable elastic. It's pretty cool. It's a lot nicer than anything that Bacterian has, admittedly.
Oh, yeah. Well, it still comes out of his mouth, but
Yeah. So he shoots like this pretty much like this monster taffy, and it wraps around Goku, and basically the more he struggles, the tighter it'll get, and it's like it'd be impossible for him to get out of, and he's about to throw him out. The Nimbus saves him, but then listen, Goku technically it was an unprecedented thing, and so he's not disqualified because Giran's like shooting merry-go-round gum at him, but that is allowed because that's coming from Giran's body. The Nimbus though was like, okay, we're going to allow it, but no more Nimbus.
yeah, like only once.
Yep, which I think was a fair call, by the way.
Yeah, like because technically there's nothing in the rules saying they couldn't use the Nimbus.
Yeah, it's a cloud too, so
Yeah, so on the so Goku better make sure he doesn't get wrung out again.
So that's the thing. So then Goku is about to be thrown out again, but thankfully his admittedly this is kind of like an act of Toriyama here, where thank goodness this miracle thing happened. But again, it's not just like it's not just for giggles. It's the fact that this will be a central plot point later in our story, and this is what I'm living for in this looking back on it years later. Is that Goku is like hanging by his tail on Giran's arm. The tail has grown back, which Goku's friends are freaking out about, which Goku's none the wiser, and the audience is like, "What? Why does he have a tail now?"
Yeah, and he's using that to fly, and technically he's allowed to do that since it's a bodily appendage.
Well, no, he flies with that later, Jacob. But he doesn't do that yet. He learned that. That's what I'm saying. He learned that from Giran, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
but he's still able to use it because of the rules.
yeah, so he's hanging on to Giran's arm with the tail, and he flings off, and then he basically breaks the unbreakable merry-go-round gum, and Giran like surrenders on the spot because he's just, oh my god, this kid's like doing the impossible, and he's growing tails, and he's this giant hulking, pterodactyl monster just gives up.
Yeah, because of the tail.
And just Goku's like toppled over, like what?
But Goku's first real fight ends in a surrender.
You know what's funny though?
Yeah.
Goku didn't even have to land a punch. Okay, on this guy. The facts, like Giran, like hit him on the head once, but aside from that, Goku didn't even hit. He threw the guy out, and then that's it.
Yep. He surrendered.
Oh boy. Okay.
The next fight.
Yeah. So the next fight is Jackie Chun versus Krillin.
Oh boy.
So we're now in the semifinals.
The final four.
Yes. So yeah, this is where we have like the replay gag where they're moving at really fast speeds. The announcer's like, "Well, can you tell us what happened?" "Oh yeah, sure."
And they reenact like Krillin getting beat up.
Yep, and then the whole they were spitting at me.
And then they do all that, yeah.
Yeah, but then can you flip me over? Like, what are you doing? He's hanging him upside down.
Oh god.
Anyways, just some fun shenanigans here. Because honestly, at the end of the day, the Jackie Chan and Krillin fight doesn't go on for long, but it's important that we show that Krillin did progress and he did put up a good fight. Basically, Krillin is the example of how Roshi expected both fights to go. So this is basically okay. I'm going to put Krillin through his paces. Krillin did impress him. He did almost get the jump on him with the panties movie. Basically, I think it was allowed because it's not weapons, by the way, because it's underwear. Which you could argue Krillin again. He didn't obviously wasn't, but you could argue he was wearing those.
A lot of underwear gags in this tournament.
That's the thing. So he throws the undies and he knocks him out. He actually does knock him out of the ring, and then Roshi, as Jackie Chan, he uses the Kamehameha wave, which then clinches for Yamcha. Okay, he's absolutely Master Roshi. There's the Kamehameha wave.
Yep.
And then Jackie Chan uses the chop. He uses like this double-sided, kind of karate chop, and that it incapacitates Krillin. So it's just a really big concussive, bam.
And Krillin loses.
Yeah, but he put in a heck of a show.
That he did. He did pretty well. He did pretty well against.
And
Jackie.
he almost won. I think that counts for something. He basically if Roshi avoided using the Kamehameha wave at all, which I have a feeling he was going to. I'm still convinced he was going to avoid using that at all cost. Until Goku pushed him to that. But the fact that Krillin got him to use that, I think just shows you how much Krillin had improved.
Oh yeah. If he's able to hold his own against Roshi, yeah.
All right, so then we have Goku versus Nam. Now this was a very interesting fight. It's a great conflict because we, the audience, are rooting for both of these characters. Goku, who we love, and Nam, who is a very noble cause, is even better than the reason Goku's fighting.
Yes, it's like we kind of want to see him succeed so he can get the village some water.
And it's a pretty even match because Nam is very motivated here. Because Nam's countering Goku very well. They have this really great Spider-Man leap off the side where it bounces off the side of the arena and the wall, and he just charges right back at Goku. He's putting in a heck of a show.
And he wants to win the water, all the money, and so yeah, and he even does it. And the item in, we all love his diving technique.
I love a couple things with Nam's diving technique. Okay, so the diving technique, as a kid, I was so dialed in because again, just being hyped for this fight, and just where it's going. You want Goku to go up against Jackie Chan, especially knowing that's Master Roshi. You definitely wanted to see him, go toe to toe with him. But by the same token, though, it's like, oh my god, this Nam fight, I'm so conflicted because I want Nam to win, but I obviously need Goku to win. And Nam's such a formidable fighter, and we built up such mystique and likability with this guy. Turning down Ranfan's advances, and we admittedly we relied on the clip maybe a little too much about Nam's backstory and his family, but still it's pretty good though.
And the question remains: if Goku had lost to Nam, do you think that Roshi would have let Nam win?
Well, that's a good question because either way, the solution, he probably would have presented with the same solution even if he won. I mean, I have a feeling. Here's the thing. What I think might have happened is if they fought and Jackie Chan most very likely just would have won. He would have given him the prize money. That's what I think would have happened.
That or still would have given him the cap.
Yeah, he would have just one of two. Yeah, but either just given him the money or he would have just told him the water's free.
It's like the wells and all that.
Yeah. Anyway, so here's a few milestones here. Goku has his first mid-air battle.
Yep, but again, and I said, speaking of the dive, I love how the comedic effect that he has with it later when he tries using it against an actual flying enemy. I know that's in the next arc, but still,
yeah,
didn't really work out well for Nam there.
I mean, we'll be covering at the tail end, but
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. But I'd say so. With the dive bomb too. I'm with you. I love that. It's like I completely forgot about this. Like Nam says, he's very remorseful about using it, but he had to. And he says it'll be an 8 to 10 day recovery. Like, he doesn't expect Goku to get up after that, and he's just shocked when he does.
Hey, Goku's a durable little kid.
Yep, and again, Nam he's not a sore loser or anything. He's not his pride isn't shattered. He just he's a little saddened by it, but he congratulates him on a good fight. And then we have the really sweet moment with Master Roshi where he basically tells Nam, the well is free, and gives him the capsule to carry it all in. And this is where we really hit on the whole the point of Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Where he explains like Nam's like asking the logic. So Nam again with our story structure here, I love that Nam allows for a lot of great things. We see like the moral of like people who really do need to win a tournament like this, and he would root for, and like the why people should fight. It's fighting for a good cause, and then we get into the other reason we should fight, which is through the explanation of why Jackie Chan, where you should fight to always be kind of improving yourself, and complacency is kind of the death of self improvement.
And that's why he doesn't want Goku to win.
Yeah, again, he wants to impart the lesson. There's always someone better, which is kind of what his point of doing this whole Jackie Chun charade is.
Like, and like, of course we feel bad for Nam when he loses. Like, I failed, but Roshi, like, he may be a dirty old man and all that, but he ultimately does have a good heart when he gives Nam those Dino capsules for the water.
And again, that is always the thing. Is so many people want to come down on, especially when we look back on Dragon Ball. So many people just want to come down blindly on Master Roshi. But you know what? Pervy people have feelings too.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Like Master Roshi's got layers.
And it's not like he never gets punished for it.
Exactly. He gets hit. He never. It's like Johnny Bravo. He never wins. It's fine. He never works out for him. But he's at the end of the day, he's a really good master. He cares about his students. He cares about him. He's looking out for him, and he does.
And without him, the world would have been destroyed several times over.
Yeah. All right, so then Nam does a favor for Roshi, where he pretends he does a favor for me to shut Yamcha up, shut his big mouth up, where he says like, well look, isn't that's Master Roshi over there? It's Nam wearing a fake beard.
You think he pretends to be Roshi? It's like, yep, see there, you've seen them in the same place.
Oh yeah. By the way, I love that when Yamcha was like pointing this out to Goku and Krillin later, because Goku could smell Master Roshi on Jackie Chan, and anticipating this, he's like spraying himself with like Ode the Orange or something.
Yeah, time to throw off the scent.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we kind of glazed over it, but just real quick, just the Jackie. Oh
Yeah.
god, Jackie Chan. I think it came early. We had like the. It might actually, I forget if it was like before the final fight or not. We just had the whole thing. Like, do you have any words before the fight? And then Jackie Chan does the famous. He does like the little song and dance number.
That was actually all one of our alternative choices for the thumbnail.
Do you remember if that happened before the Krillin fight or before the final fight?
I have no idea, but I just love how Goku joins in.
It's adorable, just seeing Goku just like doing the peace gesture and everything.
Yep, seeing him dance and rap and dance and sing with with Jackie Chun.
God,
it's great.
Okay, so we're in the finals now. It's Goku versus Jackie Chan, and he's Jacob, no joke. One of the best, if not the best, at least one of the best Dragon Ball fights ever.
Oh yeah, this fight goes on for several episodes.
And there you'll see many lists of the greatest fights in all of DBZ and everything, period. And a lot of people will include this in a top 10 list, and I think it's warranted. I think it is, even between both this is still this is an important fight. This is like the first big fight that we had, and it still holds up. It's 3 episodes, not like a bazillion like the Frieza fight, it's 3 episodes.
And think about it, it's like there's no like insane like energy blast zooming and zipping around all over the place.
There is technically a transformation, but not in the sense that we're used to.
Yeah, but like I said, like it's like no zipping around at infinite speeds, blasting back and forth, energy blast, going super saiyan, anything like that. Nope. There's basically two people using their natural strength going at each other.
And there's no monologuing. It's yeah.
It's just two strong opponents using different techniques to take each other out.
Yeah.
A student trying to surpass his master, unknowingly trying to surpass his master.
Oh yeah.
I
Right.
mean, I can see why, because this fight went on for a long time, and you can tell how well Toriyama planned it out.
Oh yeah. So let's see. I guess first off, because initially it looks like the fight's going to be over like before it starts, because Jackie Chan pretty much almost does a ring out on Goku from the start, and we have the tail helicopter, which he kind of learned from. It was twofold. He kind of learned from Giran, you know, with how he could fly, but also as he mentions, he was going to use, if the tail thing didn't work, he was going to use the Kamehameha wave, and then Jackie Chan, because you remember, um, going back to it, I guess somehow Roshi missed it. Goku, when he tested out the Kamehameha wave, I forget. Do you remember? Do you remember if Roshi saw Goku use the Kamehameha wave to destroy the car? That might have been like a tiny little, might have been a retcon.
Like I don't think he did see that. I think that was just like some. I think that was something like maybe like Bulma and maybe Oolong saw.
Well, that's the thing, because it makes me wonder. Because I could have sworn, I could be wrong here, where I thought the way it went down was Goku. He tried the Kamehameha. Master said, "Oh, it took me 30 years to master." Goku does, and that's what it makes him invite him to get more martial arts training. That's what I thought was the case. There is a chance it was just the Ox King saw, and they gave him the new car afterwards. But I still think it was. I still think Roshi saw that, and he just kind of forgot about it in the moment here, which Toriyama sometimes forgets about things. So.
Oh yeah, like he sometimes he just forgets the whole characters exist.
And to be fair, that also might be an anime thing where like the manga may have just he may I don't know. I just think Roshi was there during that scene too, so I
or
don't know why he would say that anyway.
or it could have been something that the or it could be something with the dub. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. Might know if it was a dub thing or anyway. The point being, it's a cool moment though, where Goku demonstrates that they have a face off with the Kamehameha waves, which is pretty awesome.
And
Just we're
Goku,
starting this thing off with a bang, and it's awesome.
but Goku has to limit it because it always makes him hungry.
Yep. I always love that idea too. By the way, that we really kind of drift off focus with as we go forward in Dragon Ball Z. But in Dragon Ball, the way it worked is that Goku does have like boundless energy, but with the limit being he is. That's why he eats so much food. You know, it's like the metabolism thing with the Flash. He has to eat so many calories. Goku has the reason Goku has so much strength and ability is he's eating all that food.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
Who knows? Maybe as he grew up, he was able to go with the hunger better. If that
we
makes sense.
also we also have a few moments in this fight where Jackie Chun kind of lets it slip that he might be Master Roshi, and then Goku's like kind of questioning him about it, and he has these lame excuses like, "Oh, I have a different Kamehameha wave technique," and he does like a little like arm, does like a little like jazz hands or something. Then he doesn't.
Like he says that he's distantly related to Master Roshi.
I'm his the Goku says, "You're Master Roshi's brother." Says, "Oh yeah, I'm his brother. I'm more like his cousin." He pulls out the chart they had just ready just in case.
Say what you will about Roshi, he came prepared.
That he did. Well, again, he glued the wig down because like Yamcha was like pulling on the wig. He was prepared for that.
Yeah, but it also kind of bit him in the butt later too.
Yeah, and itches like crazy.
Yeah, but it's just like crazy, and he still has to take it off himself later when he's
Yeah, which is gonna hurt like the Dickens.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. So in 3 episodes, we cover a lot of ground, and again, Jacob, like not a beat is wasted. Like it's not a fight that goes on long. It's like there's new techniques every which way, which you believe is like. Because again, we the audience are expecting Goku to plow through this fight, but again, Jackie Chan is the only one who could ever measure up.
like, and of course, like the shadow clone technique, which Goku like instantly picks up.
Yep, the whole the after image. So we have the after image, then we have the he pulls the sleepy boy hypnosis move. I love, by the way, that the announcer is like calling foul on. Well, that's not really exciting. It's going to hypnotize him to sleep. Like, who asked you?
Well, I mean, if you can allow like a woman to get undressed, I think hypnosis is fine.
No, that's a no. He's right. The guy Jen's right that it's like hypnosis is fine, but it's still like the
And,
announcer's making the point for entertainment. Like people are going to be kind of disappointed, and he basically it's a fourth wall call out. Like everyone's going to be upset if
and
Goku lost because he was hypnotized.
anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Bulma saves the day. How does she do it?
I don't know. How does she do it, Dragon?
Well, she calls out, "Goku, dinner!"
Yep. Using food.
Yep, and he's
Like basically like Yamcha, Puar, and Oolong are like just like calling his name, trying to get his attention, trying to get him to wake up.
yep. And then when Bulma says dinner time, he just
He's,
wakes up and he said, "Where's the dinner? Where's the dinner?" He says, "Look, you win this fight, we'll go out for dinner," which they do ultimately, but
yep, in a very funny way.
So Goku's convinced he can win the fight now that he's properly motivated. Now, importantly, during all this, the sun is slowly but surely it's beginning to set.
What could it possibly mean?
Well, we'll get there in a second. So then we have the rock paper the sorry the I think it's Jukin. So Jukin, aka it's the rock paper scissors move, and this is wonderfully clever. On one, we call out the Roshi is kind of letting slip too that he's fought Grandpa Gohan before, and this was Grandpa Gohan's big technique, the rock paper scissors move. I want to say that maybe well, I guess he learned it from Roshi, but it was very much his signature. Like I get the sense that
Yeah.
well, we see later on. I guess I was going to say maybe he didn't have the Kamehameha wave. I'm remembering. Yeah, Grandpa Gohan does know the Kamehameha wave. So forget what I said there. Anyway, so we have this really clever move that shows you Goku has smartened up. At the very least, he's very smart combatively here, where he's combat wise, where he switches up the rock paper scissors, where he says like he says paper when he's like hitting rock. So he just he knocks Jackie Chun for a loop, which is just really fun. Anyway, so Jackie Chun's he's getting serious. He wants to put this to bed. So he pulls out the last resort he really didn't want to use, but Goku has risen to the occasion so much he has no choice. He pulls out, and I love how somber it is, where he says like, "I'm sorry, you've already lost this fight." And he says, "Wait, did I lose?" Like, no, Goku's just trying to get in your head. And he's like, "No, because this move you're gonna have to surrender after I use this move."
Oh yeah.
The lightning flash surprise attack. As a kid, I was
Ooh.
on the edge of my seat when he did this. Like, oh my god!
And that's an episode cliffhanger too when he reveals it.
Yes. So the
It's like
lightning.
what's he gonna do?
Yep. So the lightning flash surprise attack. Essentially, this is a move that could indeed kill Goku, and he's used it. He says that he used it on Grandpa Gohan, which is like, oh no.
And Grandpa Gohan survived, apparently, obviously.
Well, yeah, he did. That's what I'm saying. It was like not even he could withstand it. So it's not that it killed him. It's that this thing, left unchecked, could kill somebody if they don't surrender.
Like, yeah, Grandpa Gohan could only get killed by giant monkeys.
Well, funny you should mention that, Jacob.
Yes.
So it's basically 2,000 volts. It's 20,000 volts of electricity. And Goku, he just refuses to give up. And even his friends are telling him, Goku, it's like, it's okay. You just give up.
Basically, it's Roshi lightning bending.
Pretty much, yeah. It's continuously and using it to hold it. It's like basically using it to hold him up in midair. Which is always a great visual thing, and again, really good for what's about to happen. Like Goku's in a fixed position in the air, head jerking about, probably skyward.
Oh boy!
I love the stakes here, where Goku, being the steadfast lad that he is, he's not going to give up. But I love this. He's getting to the point where he's actually about to give up, because it is the most pain that Goku's ever been in the series so far up to this point. It's the most painful thing he's ever. It's like the agony matrix from the Destroyer episode of JLU.
Oof, I don't know the reference to that one.
Essentially, in one of the last episodes of Justly Unlimited, Well, the last episode of Justice League Unlimited, Darkseid uses a move on Superman that he has prepared, and it's called the Agony Matrix. And this is not kryptonite based. This is like a move that just Darkseid has that is so. It basically says, imagine the worst pain you've ever felt. That like times 10 that never stops.
Ugh.
That just keeps getting worse, and you get to see Superman just utter pain, and like you see his skeleton. It's like, oh god, it's horrible. And like Darkseid's about to cut his heart out with a kryptonite knife.
I no, I'm imagining the worst pain that I've ever felt in my life
Yep.
right now. I had a kidney stone.
I love this too. Like Darkseid has this really cool line. Oh wait, you don't have to imagine it because that is the worst pain you've ever felt.
Oh god. But I can't imagine the pain 10 times worse than the kidney stone I had.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe childbirth.
Well, like actually, Dragon, I talked to several women who have had both kidney stones and childbirth. They'd go with childbirth again.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
God. Okay. Anyway, so point being, Goku's in his. This is the most pain he has been in the series up to this point. And I love that Jackie Chun's saying it's okay, boy. There's no. I love he's being very understanding. Like, he's not making him feel bad. He's like, there's no shame in it. Like this is like the move. You can't beat this move. It's okay.
He doesn't want to hurt Goku. He doesn't want to kill Goku either.
Exactly, and that's the thing. I love this is like Roshi. This is the only move he has left to use against Goku. Like the only special move that he has left. So he did not want to use this even more than the Kamehameha wave. This is the move he did not want to use.
Yeah, like he wants Goku to like just to submit. Like he's like, I mean, it's basically he's impressed by Goku at this point that he's even driven Roshi to do this in the first place.
Oh yeah. So then we have our big matchstick moment, kind of the Pixar equivalent to the equivalent to the Pixar matchstick moment, in which you the audience think you know what's going to happen, and then like like how the heck is our character going to get out of this? After that doesn't happen, like you think Goku's about to surrender, is like how can he possibly get out of this situation? Then oh boy,
the full moon.
Yep, we're getting close to nightfall. The moon is kind of in its infancy, has appeared, and it's a full moon tonight. And Goku transforms at the tournament into the great ape.
Oh boy.
And everyone is so again. I love it. Even this early on in Dragon Ball, we do have a transformation.
At least in the Pilaf Saga, was contained to a single castle and not a lot of people. Here, he basically transformed in front of an entire crowd.
Yep. Now, admittedly, as much as I adore this story, and I do, and I will still stick by it, there is one hanging Chad.
Yeah.
Well, the one proviso, and we'll get into this in a second, is the fact that no one really explains to Goku what happened. And that is a buy. It's not. Look, I'll take it because I don't want to ruin. I love the fact that Goku doesn't know until Dragon Ball Z what happened.
Well, at least to Grandpa Gohan.
Well, exactly. You can fill in the blanks, but yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. So with that in mind, I love the fact that he doesn't know until then, but that does raise the idea, like, okay, there were a lot of witnesses here, especially like the announcer. You think someone would have a more of a follow-up question. Krillin does, but that's the thing. Krillin just kind of lets it lie, and it's a misunderstanding joke, but no one else really,
It's like, hey, well, I mean, think about it. It's kind of hard to talk to everybody. It's like, so why did you turn into a giant monkey?
You think one person would ask him that besides Krillin?
Yeah, but obviously for different reasons, Yamcha, Puar, Oolong, and Bulma don't want to bring it up to him.
Well, yeah, they don't want to tell him, but I don't know. That doesn't apply to everyone else. I swear to you, that was like the only gripe I ever have with the story.
Like Roshi, Krillin, they never bring it up.
Well, Roshi, you get a sense that Krillin and Roshi are probably going to be the same thing. Or he's going to bring it up and just Goku right off. It's like, oh, they're just being funny.
All right.
Which essentially is what he does with Krillin. Like, oh, Krillin, I don't know what he's talking about.
But yeah, that's Goku's way of getting out of the lightning is accidentally transforming into a giant monkey. Uzaru, I think it's technically been called.
Well, yeah, the great ape form, I think, is the American version of it, but yeah.
I think the Japanese version is called Uzaru.
You're right. It's Uzaru, or yeah.
I think it's like based on like the Uishi, like which means big. I think. basically great ape.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so again, importantly though, like the ape's foot is still in the ring, but and of course Jackie Chan can't even run out of the ring, or else he's gonna lose.
It's like, so he's like stuck between a rock and a hard place. Does he let Goku the giant ape win, or does he stand his ground?
Yep. So we have this. So Yamcha's trying to get Porter turned into a pair of scissors so he can go for the tail, and Jackie Chan is like, he's kind of piecing together what he needs to do here. So he's going for the super Kamehameha wave. So it's like the Kamehameha we saw that destroyed the Ox King's castle. He's bulking up.
And technically, what happens here is kind of what you would call another matchstick moment, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't. This is just more of a misdirect. Like the other one was more like how the heck did we get out of this? But
I mean, well, it still kind of works. I mean, you don't know how he's gonna get. You don't know how he's gonna get out of the situation, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like he fires it up, aims it at Goku, and Goku doesn't get up.
That was our cliffhanger too, by the way. Like we kind of play the admittedly we milked the fake death of Goku, which is look, I'm just I don't really factor this into the episode. It's just kind of the narrators, kind of the way we've broken it up. Like we play it like he says he's sorry. Like the fact that Jason's saying he's sorry does feel a lot like okay, we're playing until he may have killed him thing. Where clearly he didn't kill him.
It's like, and the narrator's like, "What happened to Goku?"
Admittedly, look, as a kid, I'm buying into it. I'm a sap. I'm like, oh no.
I mean, I'll remember this was kind of meant for young kids too.
Exactly. So I'm thinking, oh god, did he couldn't have no.
But then the next episode,
he's alive.
But what happened?
So Master Roshi did not kill the giant ape. He blasted past the giant ape and hit the moon. He killed the moon.
He killed the moon.
Possibly Boss Rabbit. I'm hoping that Boss Rabbit got down safely.
I think he like made a cameo in Super, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Like he was floating in space because of the fact that the moon was destroyed.
I hope that's what happened. I hope he's okay.
So and technically, if you remember in Z, throughout the series, the moon actually gets destroyed twice.
Well, I think once.
Oh no! It's like if you count this and the time in Z, it gets.
Oh yeah, if you count, I thought I meant it's an additional time in Z. Yeah, it gets destroyed once in Z and once here.
The question is like, does it get wished back or is it like a retcon?
I think it's Kami. I think Kami put the moon back.
Yeah, because Piccolo destroyed the moon.
That's a thing.
For a similar reason, actually.
Yeah, so I think just Kami can regenerate the moon. I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
It's kind of funny that his kind of one of his spawns destroyed the moon.
Yeah, it's a cycle.
Yep. But yeah, like everybody's like saying like how could you kill Goku?
Yep. So thankfully we didn't. The moon has been destroyed. Oh, the announcers just kind of ranting and we just kind of ranting. Jackie Chan's destroyed the moon. Like he's no more moonlight walks. What about the Wolfman? Which let's just say there might be we may or may not see that might be a setup.
Okay then.
I'm gonna say that much.
Probably haven't gotten to that far yet.
We know it's for an Avatar reference here. Uncle Iroh is pissed off.
And of course Sokka's girlfriend.
Yep. Well, no. She takes the place of the moon.
I know,
I'm saying we've destroyed it.
I know, but she sacrifices herself to restore the moon.
Yeah, as I'm saying, that's how we get it back. And then Piccolo kills.
It's like, and then Sokka's like, "Oh, come on!"
That's what I'm saying. So that's the one Sokka's gonna be upset with Piccolo.
That's like the moon gets destroyed again. Sokka's like, "Oh, come on!"
I'm running out of girlfriends. Suki, you're up.
Oh God. It's like we're already dating. Like, oh well.
Ty Lee, we had a moment. You're the third.
Ty Lee was never an option.
No, you're right. She wasn't an option.
Toph was more of an option than
I know. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, Toph would be the.
Yeah. I mean, Toph was my preferred one, actually.
No. You're not wrong. I'm just saying I kind of forgot about Toph in the moment. Oh yeah, Toph was it.
Yeah, but like my girlfriend turned to the moon.
That's rough, buddy.
I mean, to be fair, what else do you say in that situation?
Someone recreated that scene in puppets, by the way.
Oh God, I just see that.
Yeah,
But honestly, like I said, to be fair, what else would you say in that situation?
not much.
Exactly. But so yeah, Roshi destroyed Jackie Chun destroyed the moon.
Which is no easy feat. They're pretty depleted after all that.
Yeah,
So what?
but the tournament's still on because Goku's still in the ring.
Yes. So after we get Goku some pants.
Yep, because he's naked.
Yeah, and he was willing to fight like that, but thank goodness we found, thank goodness Krillin basically just lent him his basically gave him his uniform and he changed into street clothes. So
And yeah, but we did briefly have to see Krillin in his underwear.
yeah,
Well, like I said, a lot of underwear this arc.
yeah. In another life, Toriyama would have been a great lingerie salesman.
Well, but thank God it's not that. Thank God that is not this universe.
Yeah, that's Universe 6.
Yes, which is the one that got destroyed.
Yeah.
It's not the one that got destroyed. Was it Universe 7 that got destroyed?
No. We're Universe 7, Jacob.
Oh yeah. But then the Universe 6 is the one that got destroyed.
Yeah. 6. Well, technically 6, and yes.
Well, I said, thank God, in this universe, Toriyama was a manga artist.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so here's the thing. So again, while we're getting Goku pants, this is the bit where we brush Krillin. He just kind of brushes off as Krillin mentioning the ape is just kind of being like, oh, it's just I don't know what Krillin's going on about, and this no one else mentions it apparently.
Yep, it's like nobody minds the fact that the place was destroyed by a kid randomly turning into a giant ape.
Yeah. Anyway, so the fight continues. They're both pretty much depleted of energy. We have like one more Kamehameha wave, and here's the thing: that Kamehameha wave almost basically knocks Jackie Chun out of the ring. But then we have this awesome moment. I always love this. Jackie Chun, he basically embedded. It looks like Goku's won, and Jackie Chun, he embeds his foot. He kicked the side of the arena so hard. As a kid, I went bananas for this. He kicked the ring so hard that he was not touching the ground. Like embedded the foot in there and is like using his weight to kind of like just like balance himself in there, and then he climbs back in the ring desperately.
And it's kind of amazing that that him destroying the moon was not the end of the fight.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So this is just again, Roshi is doing everything. And again, it's really admirable. He's doing everything he can not to, because anyone else probably would have given up at this point. It's just the fact that the reason he keeps going, he's not letting Goku just kind of get the victory with the ring out there, is that he is determined not to let. He cares about Goku's teaching so much. He does not want him to be complacent.
And basically it comes down to the point of like, okay, the one who can stand the longest and say I am the champion wins.
Well, that's the thing. So, getting there, we have to talk about the most important move.
Yeah.
Okay, so there it's been a 4-hour. We say in dialogue, it's been a 4-hour fight. It's been 3 episodes, but essentially in their elapsed time, it's been 4 hours. It's been very intense. They're going back to basics, where it's now full on hand to hand, like no more energy, no more fancy tricks. And they basically realize they have enough juice in them just to do one more just kind of big, just kind of hand to hand move. So basically they go for a
kick.
Roshi takes a moment there, and he basically, I love that he sizes up like what to do, and he has just the idea. And so what happens is not just an accident. He did plan this, and as we kind of have a monologue internally later. But they have the big awesome last kick where they both kick each other in the face at the same time, and that's the big one. They're both down past the count of 10, and now the rules: the first to their feet and says, "I'm the champion," wins the tournament. And
them kicking their faces was also a choice for the thumbnail that we had.
Yeah, it was really tempting, but at the end of the day, this one just kind of felt right because we have the announcer in there, and we have it kind of sums the whole thing up a little bit more.
Because the most important fight is obviously Roshi versus Goku.
Yeah.
And basically, we think that Goku's going to do it because he's standing tall.
And he says, "I'm the champ."
But then he collapses.
And you know what? It's such a Rocky thing here, where it's like he said champ, and here's the thing, he kind of said Ian under his breath, but it's like I come on.
But yeah, it's like, but technically he didn't complete the word.
Yeah.
Remember, of all the things that could have been like ring outs or anything like that, he has to say the full word because so it's kind of established that they have to like do exactly what it says in order for him to be the champion.
So it's a poor Goku, and I love that we the odds collectively. It's like he made it. He did so great. He just couldn't say the words.
Like
And
literally at the last second.
yeah. Anyway, so then Jackie Chan gets up, and says, "I'm the champion." And yeah, but again, I love the reason being the only reason he won was because his legs were longer than Goku's. Had he had that not, it was so close, and it's that technicality. Had he just it just fits that Goku essentially is the people's champ in this case. He absolutely won that fight, but he went the distance, and it was just by a syllable. He lost by a syllable. So I love that in this sense, we did not take away Goku's. This was what Toriyama's the man. Goku didn't lose anything truly in that fight. He went all the way to the very end. He gave his all. He learned a lot, and he just lost by a syllable. But again, even though he doesn't get the title, he gained the experience.
Yeah, man. And Roshi managed to win, and Goku strove to be better at that after that.
And he's not heartbroken by the loss either, which is important too, because Goku just he's a little. It's like, oh man.
He's like a little upset at the moment, but like it's basically more motivating to him to become stronger.
And there's that really sweet moment where he says, "Mr. Jackie, can we?" I love he calls him Mr. Jackie throughout the thing. By the way,
Yeah.
Mr. Jackie, can we fight again next year? He says, "Yes."
Isn't it like every 4 years?
Well, no. Well, I'm sorry. In the moment, he says, "Can we fight again?" I think just period. Like again,
Like next time.
yeah, next time. It's not 4 years. It's I forget if it was. I think it's 3.
Or 5.
Well, here's the thing. We one of the years you get they. Sorry, I'm trying to get it right here. Okay, so you're right in that it's like it's either 5 to 3 years. Is one of the years it was trimmed versus what it usually is. So that's what's throwing me off. I don't know which tournament was the one that had like the trim time frame. I forget if it was the second or if it was the or if it was the or if it was I or if it was the 23rd. Now I think the 23rd is 5 years because Goku goes from let's see, so I think Goku is like he's 14 or 16 when we do the second tournament, and then it's 17. I think he's like
Sorry.
I don't know. I think he's like 19 maybe by the 19 or 20 by the last tournament. So I think 5 years does go by between the 22nd and the 23rd. So maybe it is 5. I think one of these tournaments, either in Dragon Ball Z or here, was 3 years. So I don't know.
No idea.
We won't really know until the next one happens, unfortunately.
Yes. Well, yeah. To the surprise of many, Goku did not win the fight. But he came out a better fighter nonetheless.
Yep.
Master Roshi, and Jackie Chun takes home the prize money.
Yeah, so Roshi, his plan worked, and then we have instant karma, though. So
where I was like, I even said like Goku's probably just going to eat all that prize money in the food anyway.
And you're pretty much right.
Yep, like Goku eats basically constantly when everyone goes out to dinner. And then when Roshi has to pay the bill, it basically eats up the entire winnings.
So here's how much prize money Roshi has left. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was 500. It was 500,000 zeni.
Yeah.
That's what he won. And Goku had 57 full course meals, and coupled with whatever else had, the total was 470,000 zeni.
So basically, all but 30,000 zeni.
He's got 30,000 zeni, which again, the conversion rate, I don't know how much zeni that is. Probably an okay amount, definitely enough for a plane ticket, but I don't know.
Yeah, but Goku.
That's almost all of his prize money, though. Goku ate pretty much all of his prize money.
I was like, he's probably just gonna eat all the food anyway.
Yeah. So again, it all worked out for Goku. Yeah, he got the fight, he got the train, he got the fight, and he got the eat.
Yep. I mean, that was his biggest motivation after just winning was the food.
That's the trifecta.
Yep. He wants the food.
Yep. So again, that's already a perfect end to the arc, and then we have like a skosh of aftermath we should talk about.
Yep. Which all but begins setting up the next arc.
Yeah, so basically, all we really need to set up here is that so Goku, he establishes that well, Goku, what are you going to do next? He's going to hunt down his grandpa's Grandpa Gohan's Dragon Ball, which separated when the first wish was made. Because again,
And
Goku doesn't really want a wish; he just wants the memento of his grandfather, which is the 4-star ball.
and in the meantime, the balls have become active again.
Because over a year has gone by.
Yep. So basically to help on his journey, Bulma gives him the Dragon Radar.
Yep. So on his way to do so, because he's still kind of nearby, we secure a happy ending for Nam. So apparently Nam. Now I got to admit, this is nice what we do here. I don't have a problem with it, but in hindsight, I kind of have to mind you. This whole part is like kind of a fillery thing the anime did. I do kind of think it plays better without this because it's kind of nice just to assume Nam he got the money, he got the water. Sorry, not the money. He got the capsule and he got the water. Brought back to his people, pretty clear cut, no problems. But here we kind of add a layer to, which doesn't hurt anything. It's just kind of like an added layer where Goku helps Nam solve the water problem in the first place, which basically is Giran and his his kind of his tribe. I guess Giran is his cronies.
They dammed up the river.
They dammed up the river with the merry-go-round gum, and Goku. I love that. The big takeaway I have, the thing I like about this, the reason I wouldn't want to get rid of it ultimately is that Giran has a nice arc of kind of respecting Goku after he was humbled because Giran was very much kind of a show off. He also had a tail. Goku has a tail in that match, which kind of
Yep.
I'm not saying that tail is really an arc. I just kind of like that was something that kind of bonded them together in a way. And just Giran, he underestimated the kid,
and the fight kind of like gears you up to like for Giran to be like probably like this kind of like very like bad guy that Goku might have to fight outside of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he's actually fairly reasonable.
Yeah, and again, I think a lot of that came from the humblement. Again, is yet another example of Goku befriending former enemies.
Kind of would like to see more of Giran, but
yeah, well, you'll see Giran at least one more time, Jacob.
in another tournament.
Kind of.
All right, I can take it.
Kind of. All right. Let's see. Anyway, so Goku, with the Kamehameha wave, he destroys the dam, restores the water. Essentially, there's a whole roaming lake thing that is the real solution because a sandstorm complicates Bulma Yamcha and the company's travel plans.
Yep.
And so they're traveling to basically they are traveling to West Sea. That's where Bulma's. They are going to West Sea and they end up in South City, I think. So.
And the storm blows them back.
Yep, right back to where they started, and that's pretty much the end.
And so yeah, which will lead directly into the next story.
Yes, so Goku on his way to find the Dragon Ball.
Yes,
we're bringing it back to the show title, kids.
Speaking of which, Dragon.
Yeah.
Have you been checking your Dragon Radar?
Click. Yes. Oh my God, Jacob.
Yeah.
We got 2.
Ooh, nice. What number is it?
I think it's the 2-star ball.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There we go, folks. We got 2 down. When we get 7, we get to make a wish.
But what will we wish for?
Oh boy, I know what I'm wishing for. I'm not going to tell anyone because I don't want it to not come true.
Well, I'm not going to tell anyone either, Dragon.
But Jacob, before we go though, and overall though, it's safe to say we're pretty impressed with this arc. We liked it, right?
Oh yeah, I mean I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can't wait to see how the future tournaments goes. If you say they're supposedly better than this one, but
absolutely, there's one thing I do want to say too. Just the big takeaway with this arc is that what, again, Toriyama very much did pave the way for a lot of manga artists. With the tournament structure, became very popular in manga, and a big reason for it, I would attest, is I'm pretty sure this predated all Yu Yu Hakusho is like the other big iconic tournament in manga, and this I'm very certain predated it, and just looking at it that way, it's something really it's just showing how Toriyama just kind of like laid the groundwork for people to kind of measure up to, like, here's how we can do a tournament, kind of, but we can't just copy what Toriyama did. We got to do our own thing with it. It just shows you how much impact I think this had in the world of manga and anime.
I mean, I can totally see that. I mean, I don't think tournaments were a thing that Toriyama invented as an art.
No, but as like, the way in which he could tell that story, I think.
Like, I can see why many people would cite it as an influence.
Yeah.
I mean, we have different kinds of tournaments and all kinds of different shonen manga today, whether or not they're influenced by this or not. Just goes to show you, like, people really love tournaments. Like, some people love tournaments, some people really hate when shows do tournaments because they just see it as like some kind of way to extend the runtime.
Yeah.
But it ultimately comes down to how well the story is told. Because and I think here, like, Toriyama found a good balance of doing like the story and the spectacle of the fights.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, let's just have a bunch of powerful people fighting each other, but he actually had a good story and progression to go with. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
All right. So do you have any final words, Dragon?
No, that was it.
Now, we did have one comment early on some Richard's Victims saying I like the abridged version better.
Yeah.
So thank you, Richard's Victims, for coming in, and thank you all for watching it, the VOD version. So Master Roshi may have won the tournament, but he ended up paying the price. And Goku bids farewell to his friends for now as he ventures off to find his grandpa's 4-star ball. Unbeknownst to him, a mysterious new power is searching for them as well. The Red Ribbon Army. Find out how his next battle goes next time on Journey into Dragon Ball.